The good times keep getting gooder because Adam Carolla is coming to your town August 29th in Provo, Utah at Dry Bar. Torrance, California, Sunday, August 31st, 2 shows at Mom Said Yes. Yes, that's the name of the venue, Mom Said Yes. And September 6th in Charlotte, North Carolina, 2 shows at the Comedy Zone. Coming up in September, El Paso, Albuquerque, Flagstaff, and more. Get your tickets for all these incredible shows at adamcarolla.com. A man who's broken more wind than Hurricane Aaron. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. The truth to get on. You mandate you get it on now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. I run into all you people at the track and everywhere else, and you're so nice, and you listen, and you turn your friends on, so we love that. Adam Yenser, very funny stand-up comedian, back in studio, got live shows, and very funny Dry Bar stand-up special.
Thank you, man.
As well, which I studied closely. Good jokes in there.
Thank you. That's what I always strive for.
Adam's got dates coming up, and maybe what you should do is go to your website to find these dates.
Yeah, AdamYenser.com.
AdamYenser.com. Makes sense. Elisha Krauss back in studio.
Hello.
She's got her column. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have...
It's okay.
They do that.
Just the Instagram and the column, you know?
I know, but I always ask for a bio for you, and sometimes I get it, and then sometimes I don't.
It's not that long.
I know, but I just want to send people so they can read your work. All right, so stuff to get into. First off, I'm starting to realize that we're having difficulty communicating, and I think it's because everyone but me is fucking dumb. That's kind of what I'm stumbling across here. Like, I'm having lots of conversations with people. First off, women, you do this.
Oh, women are dumb?
Women
are we
do
gonna
this.
go there?
No.
We gonna go there today?
No, not dumb, but you will do this. You will do this. And you know what? Sorry. Women and Mike August and a few guys I know do this, but women will hop a subject in the middle of a conversation.
Oh, it's a rabbit trail.
Right. So women will go.
Yes, we are guilty.
Here's what women do. They go, I got free tickets. I got us 4 free tickets to go to the concert in Vegas this weekend. And you go, okay, 4 free tickets to the Sphere? Yeah. Okay, good. And then you go, well, how are we getting there? We driving or are we flying? And then they go, I don't know. I mean, I've looked into it. I mean, maybe we could fly. Maybe we think about flying. And then I go, oh, okay, did we buy the tickets? And they go, we got 4 free tickets to the Sphere. And you go, yeah, so I'm talking about what we're talking about. That's number one. I tell people all the time, I'll only be talking about what we're talking about. We're talking about airline tickets now because we've moved on. But I never say, did we buy tickets to the aeroplane? I just go, did we buy tickets? Because we're talking about flying.
Like how to get there. So
yes,
I won't do it in a travel
women will
scenario.
hop they'll go forward and backwards.
What I'm guilty, in a travel scenario, because I'm like former producer, mega planner, I was like, here's the trip, babe. I got it all planned out. Like that won't happen. But what will happen is, oh, so you know the friend that gave us the tickets, and then you kind of like rabbit trail in that way.
Yeah, again, people do that with people. They'll bring up, they'll go, oh, Susie's so nice, but Gary's such a dick. And then you'll go, yeah, I think that guy's a dick too. And then they'll go, you think Susie's a dick? Yes. And I go, no, I'm talking about what we're talking about when we're talking about it. Because otherwise we can go back 7 years or 20 years. We can keep going back in conversation years. I will talk to what we've moved on to address and then ask questions based on that.
And I think you're always focused on the topic at hand. I think
I'm talking about the subject we're talking
They're
about.
mentally multitasking,
yes,
and they can jump back and forth, and
here.
I can't do that.
Right.
You got to focus on this thing and establish that.
I would also say that leftists do that a lot. Like when you're trying to like have a legitimate argument with them, they're like,
all the time.
Well, they're not.
All the time.
You're
a racist?
They're being disingenuous. I mean, they're not multitasking. They're
they don't have
bullshitting.
woman brain.
They're deflecting.
Yeah, they're lying. Yeah, that a lot. That's an issue. So, but also, I noticed that like when I talk to people, they don't really understand what there's something called the gestalt. It's like what are we asking here? You know, and so I was at the Home Depot like 20 minutes ago. Always a mistake. But
Are there any ice raids today?
Well, I wore the
Call one in.
I wore the windbreaker so I can get because there's sometimes a long line at checkout, and I scoot right to the front of the line. I'm telling you, put that ice windbreaker in the driver's passenger side of your truck, and you just walk right into Home Depot. You'll get shit for free.
Nice.
You get to go to the guy who's cutting up the pineapple and the papaya on the cart outside of Home Depot.
Yeah.
He will buff you out gratis, baby. You'll bring some home to the kids.
Throw in an avocado for free.
You throw in an avocado and maybe a couple of street tacos, maybe a couple dogs wrapped with bacon. You can load up. You'll never pay for lunch again. In L.A., with that windbreaker, you'll never pay for lunch again. So I walked in there. Now, you don't go in there and talk to guys about stuff because nobody who works there knows anything about stuff, but they pass the savings along. You know what I mean? You want knowledge, you can go to the Anawalt Lumber down the street. You will pay more to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. But you got to pay for it. But I went for the first time ever to the pro counter. They have a counter for the professionals now where you order stuff and you do stuff.
And it's a faster checkout.
Oh, yeah. And I just went to talk about decking materials like Trex makes it. It's all this. When I started in the business, one of the first jobs I did, we did a deck. And with the deck, you would just get 2x6 redwood and you would just nail it down with galvanized nails. And then they started making this engineered lumber. Engineered decking is sort of what steak is to Spam. It's like, well, they're meat. They're both meat, but this is different. But in this analogy, the Spam would be better because engineered stuff lasts longer. It doesn't rot. You don't have to. It doesn't cup. It doesn't split. You don't have to, stain it every year and all that shit. So it works. And also, they figured out a system where you don't have to screw holes in the top of it or nail the top of it. It has a clip system where it clips in on the side. So if you see these like new nice decks and they're just all smooth and you don't see the nail holes or what we used to call shiners, like when a guy was nailing it and he hit it too hard at the end and it made a little indentation with the hammer, or even just a bunch of screw tops or plugs or whatever, because then at some point
Somebody's going to stub their toe.
At some point they started putting screws in it and they started like countersinking them and putting plugs. So it looked kind of like wood without seeing holes or screws or nail heads or whatever. But anyway, so they have a new system now, and the system is now you put a little clip in and you clip the boards in as you go, and you no longer have to put screws or nails through the top of the board. And in between the board is about 1/8 of an inch. That's the space in between when you're laying a deck out. It's not 1/4 inch, but it's not a 1/16. It's
nice and tight.
It's an 1/8. It's an 1/8. It's a nice shadow line, they would call it. Now, like if you stood on a nicely done deck and you looked down, you couldn't see anything but a shadow line. You can't see the wood underneath it or the ground or anything because it's 1/8 of an inch. And so this guy, I go to the pro desk. So first off, you have to figure I'm at the pro desk, so I know something. And then I start talking about decking. And I go, can I get a price? And he goes, yeah, I'll get you a price. And I go, do they go by the linear foot, the square foot, or the board foot? Because those are 3 different measurements for how much. Now, linear foot is just how long you pay per foot.
Good. I was going to ask for an explanation, but I didn't want.
Well, you could buy licorice by the linear foot. It just be, it's $1 a foot. 3 foot is $3. That's a linear foot of this. Then they have square foot, like you're buying carpet. How big's a room? 20 by 20. Or I got 400 square feet here, carpet, you know. And then there's something called board foot. And that's where people get confused. Board foot is like 1 foot square. It's like a square foot, but it's 1 foot wide, and every foot is a board foot. So like if I had, let's say a 1 by 6, 1 foot of that would be half a board foot, and 2 of them would be a board foot. It's a little stupid, but that's how they do it. So I say to the guy, I don't know, look, Andrew, look up board foot. So I go, square foot, board foot, linear foot. And he's like, I don't know. And he goes and he looks it up and he tells me how much it is. But he goes, that's all in. That's got the fascia. That includes the screws. That's the fasteners. And that includes the plugs. And I go, the plugs? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, this is clipped on. So what do we do with the plugs? And he goes, this is the part I love. This part. He goes, the plugs are so you don't see the screws. You put them on top. I go,
it's like, man, you don't even know what you're selling.
Yeah, I go, yeah, I know what the plug is, but there is no holes. It's a clip system, so and you can't see the clip. So what are we doing with the plugs? Why the plugs in this? And he goes, like you got a screw hole or a nail hole. I'm not asking what a plug is. Jeremy Piven? Yeah. You remember he used to have less hair? Right. He got hair plug. Yeah. Okay. Got it. When at a radio show you give out your live dates? Yeah. Plugs. Yeah. Okay. Not asking what a plug is. And so I go, okay, but I'm old school, so I don't know the new decking system. So now I don't know if the computer just adds plugs when you add clips and you add fascia. Like it doesn't know which boards are you getting the clip ones or are you getting the ones where you have to drill through? I think the computer's just thrown the plugs in. Or the plug is for the fascia. I don't know. But I keep
but neither
saying...
did he.
Did he ever answer?
No, I go, listen. It's a clip system. We're not putting screws or nails through the top of the board. So what are the plugs for? And he goes, you don't want to see the screws or the nails, so it covers the hole. And I'm like, okay, all right. What the fuck is wrong? What? He works there.
It's like a pro desk.
He wasn't pulled out of an institution.
Wait, and at this point, you didn't threaten to deport him?
No, he was a white guy who was
deportation.
He was not 22. He was like a 37-year-old white dude with a beard who looked very normal, who's manning the pro desk, and he could not. Look, I will accept this. Here's what I will accept. I will go, you can go, yeah, there's no penetrating through the board. The plug is for the clip. You put a screw through the clip to hold the clip down, and they give you a plug there. Now, I know you can't see it. It's just so water doesn't gather there and rot it out. Or I will accept some version of this. But he offers no version. He just keeps explaining to me what plugs do in the wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like broadly, what a
general question.
What a plug, or even a plug nickel's worth, or something like that. So then what I do is what I do with almost everyone in life. I quickly assess they're semi-retarded, and I go, yeah, let me just take a pamphlet, and I just always exit stage left but also I realize like there's something going on. I don't know if it's video games. I don't know if it's online porn. I don't know what it is. People cannot concentrate, but mainly they don't know what you're asking. First off, it's established that I understand what we're doing here. And it's established that I know what plugs are, but this is not. There are systems. They will sell you a cheaper board where you put screws right through the top, and then they'll sell you plugs to snap onto those screw tops so you don't see the screw head. And in that case, you would buy the plugs. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
Did he ever answer whether it was the board foot or the linear foot?
Oh, by the way, no, he didn't know. But just Andrew, get off. Do not go on the Home Depot website. There's nothing. You'll find nothing. Ask Grok or whoever.
That's making people dumber too. Is they just ask
100%.
Grok every time. It's the main response. Anytime anybody posts anything on X, the top question is like, Grok, explain this to me. Grok, what does this mean? Grok, what do you? They don't even attempt to figure it out.
And I feel like there is something that is good. Like, you're less stupid to me when you are willing to admit that you don't know something.
Well, there is a point.
Yes, yeah.
There is a point in every conversation where people can stop and go, this is the third time you've asked me what plugs do. So maybe there's something I'm missing here. Are you asking, does it go into the nail head or the screw head, or you're talking about? Because I'm basically just going, what is the application for plugs in this application? Because there's nothing showing. It's a clip with 1/8 of an inch on each side of it. You couldn't possibly see anything. Now, I was sitting there as a smart person thinking, you do need to put a screw to hold the clip down. And that would be a place where if it rained, water might gather in that indentation. And even though you would use a stainless steel screw or galvanized screw or a bonderized screw, water eventually would sort of seep in there. And maybe it's a little cap just to get the water not to puddle in that little indentation where the clip is, which he could have offered, but he did not.
Do you have anything?
They should have an amateur desk next to the pro desk. He just gets demoted. Just send him over there.
I'm keeping my status for the retard Olympics. Yeah, right. I don't want to turn pro. Into cloud. You ever look at your to-do list and think, yeah, future me, we'll sort that out? Well, that's where Into Cloud comes in. One quick gummy, and suddenly overwhelmed and spiraling turns into cozy and snacking. Into Cloud makes legal hemp-derived THC products. Gummies, vapes, pre-rolls, strong, tasty, and they actually work. Not the mystery edibles your buddy's cousin cooked up in the air fryer. All third-party lab-tested, 2018 Farm Bill compliant, discreet shipping, so your mailman doesn't think you're starting a reggae band. And this stuff is good. For me, I like it at night. Really helps me relax and sleep and works, man. It's Into Cloud. Right, Dawson?
If you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress because Into Cloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order, plus free shipping. Just use code ADAM or click the link in the show notes to claim your discount. That's indacloud.co. indacloud.co. Use code ADAM for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. And when you order, fill out that quick little survey. Helps support the show and keeps Into Cloud sending you the good stuff. So go ahead, tell future you've got it covered. Then grab a gummy and vibe out with Into Cloud.
Do you feel like there's so Home Depot is Adam's I'm the smartest man in here. For you, where is that?
Well, when you started and you said people are getting dumber.
Yeah.
I've been doing stand-up on cruise ships for the first time this year.
And they're getting fatter and dumber.
There's this thing when you're doing stand-up, like the jokes you're talking about, the dry bar. Some of the jokes, if it's a longer joke and it's a smart joke, there's a part where you're kind of laying track and you're setting it up. And there's a point where when I'm at a club...
Are those caps for the screws that hold your joke track down?
The track is like the rails where the train...
Okay, we could use a plug.
Yeah.
Oh, that track. Exactly. All right, well, stay on track. Keep going.
But there's points in the joke where I'm used to at a club or in my driver where some of the audience starts to get it. And there starts to be a laughter that builds.
Like a chuckle kind of,
And the cruise ship audiences, you'll get to that point where there's usually a building chuckle and there's nothing. Mm-hmm. And they have to wait until they hear the whole joke and the final punchline, and then it hits them. But there's no build, and sometimes it doesn't even hit as strong then because they're not putting pieces together. Huh.
Yeah.
They can't make that leap to the punchline.
Yes.
It's like unless you spell it out for them,
yes.
they don't get it in that environment.
Yeah.
Is it the environment or is it the audience, or you think it's a little bit of both?
Well, it's both. Because I mean, on these ships, some of them have a regular comedy club style club on them. Those aren't too bad because you'll get people there that are there to see comedy. But when they put you in the main theater,
Oh, in like the general
the big
auditorium.
1,000 people,
Yeah.
and it's late,
where
and
they
these
do
people
the
have
newlywed game show stuff.
They have jet
and, like,
lag, and they've been eating and drinking all day.
Yeah.
And they do the newlywed show, and then they have dancers come out, and the cruise director says, "Hey, we're gonna get off in Bermuda tomorrow." And you go horseback ride, and they go, "And now here's a comedian."
Yeah.
And
Right.
these people just they don't know what to think or
Do you
what
ever
they're there for.
Do you ever test your material there and you're like, if it works on the cruise ship, then it's totally going to work at the Comedy Store?
Well, yes and no, because some of these people at the cruise ships, what kills is what would be considered hacky in a comedy club.
Yeah.
They want very kind of low hanging, and some of them I don't get super dirty. There's often an adult show and a clean show, and at the adult shows I can go a little edgier. But I'm not like a filthy comedian, and some of those people are there to see that. They want the dirtiest jokes possible.
Yeah, it's interesting. If it's working, I mean, the cruise ship is sort of like Chuck E. Cheese. Like, if you think this pizza is good, you're 9.
Yes.
Like, if you really think this pizza is good, but they really do when you're 9, but it's not a slice from a New York place.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, board foot's a unit of volume measurement. So here's the thing. I'm right.
Oh, it's volume-wise. Okay.
A board foot is 1 foot wide, 1 foot, and however foot long it is after it's 1 foot wide, but it's an inch thick.
Deep.
It's one
I
by.
see.
It's one by. So it's like for buying hardwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the thing that always drives me nuts is, you know how 3/4 is called 1 inch in the wood world?
Yeah.
They go 1 by. They go 1 by 6, but it's 3/4. So then you'd have to think to yourself, well, what would a true inch? What would they call a true inch? Because they're calling 3/4 1 by. In hardwood places, they call a true 1 inch thick board 5/4.
Really? 5
Which I
quarters?
yell at them all the time. First
never
off,
heard that one. Huh.
that's like the coach telling you I need 110%.
Yes.
Like it doesn't. 5/4 don't exist. I argue with the guys behind the counter. I go, that's what they call it. I go, I understand, but you understand why we have systems.
All it does
Quarters.
is take one person to change it, and then you got to,
I know they go, well, if 1 inch is 3/4 and 1 inch is 4/4, but it's really 3/4, then we have to call it 5/4. I'm like, I don't like it. I'm a conscientious objector. That being said, I'll take 12 board feet of white oak 5/4. All right, so that's what that is. So anyway, this was a long conversation. And look, I don't know, Andrew, you can look it up. Do you need what do you need caps, plugs? What do you
they're
need
the
plugs
clippy
for on a deck system that's on a clip that where you don't have to put holes in it? That we can figure it out.
He's going
All
to tell you what a plug is.
All right, here's a thought. I had I don't know why, but I saw on the news. Yeah, it was all making the rounds yesterday. They were talking about Ozempic for dogs.
Really?
Stop.
Oh yeah.
People are, oh my
Well,
God.
first
Oh, the
off,
doggies are going to
is
get
there
Ozempic face.
Is there
man.
any stop about anything anymore? You know what I mean? Like, she wants to pay for illegal aliens in prison to get sex change operations. And you go, oh, stop. Oh, dude. Contraire on the stop. We're way past the stop in society.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? There
Yes.
is no more. There's nothing anyone says where anyone in the straight face can go, oh, give me a
Yeah.
break.
Medicare is now going to cover the Ozempic
Right,
for
right.
dogs.
That's where we're going. Kamala Harris, it wants incarcerated dogs who are transgendered,
Yeah.
who have weight issues to be paid for by the state for Ozempic. So, Ozempic for pets, for dogs. That's what they're doing. Well, okay, dogs are fat now, so why not? I mean, you want them to live longer and blah,
Then
blah, blah.
put them on a diet.
They're fat because they don't get them enough exercise. They get these big dogs and they put them in
I'm
these
going to
small
say something
apartments.
really mean.
Go.
How many of the dogs that are fat also have like inactive and overweight owners?
Oh, well, the owners
Right.
used to be fat, but they're
They're
on Ozempic
Yes.
too.
But I'm saying, like, if you just take your dog for a walk
I know,
and
but
you also go on the walk, maybe the dog, it's like,
Right, well, we're
get the steps
right.
in.
They
But
need a
you're
bloodhound
thinking,
because
like-
then they'll both have the saggy skin. They'll both like the dog will have it naturally, and they'll get the Ozempic, like just the extra skin.
You're
hanging
thinking
off.
like a person. These are fat people. So now it's like, I guess it's sort of like table scraps, like the fat person's eating
Yeah.
and throws the dog some Ozempic. You know what I mean? But so I was thinking about this, and I was like, my first is, oh dear Lord, where are we? as a civilization at this point. You know what I mean? And by the way, I would say, well, I'll go ahead and declare us officially out of problems. If this is something we're spending other civilizations are trying to find clean water.
Yeah.
And
we're talking about
dog
Ozempic
obesity.
for dogs, right? And again, something you can wholly control because the dog can't have the Grubhub app and can't get out and start up the barbecue.
Someone's giving it this food.
Yeah.
You can the person who's buying the Ozempic can thin the dog out very quickly, right? But I was thinking about it, and I thought it's different for the dog. Now, the dog's going to lose weight. And we can find this story, Andrew, somewhere. It made the rounds. But the dog's going to lose weight. But here's the difference. The dog doesn't know he's on Ozempic.
Oh.
So the dog, and I looked up the side effects. It's diarrhea, it's hair loss, it's depression, right? Amongst other things. So now the dog's sitting around, losing its hair, depressed, it's got diarrhea, doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And then it's just laying there on the dining room floor, and all of a sudden a meatball falls off the table and lands on the floor, and the dog just looks at it, and goes, okay. And then the cat comes up and goes, hey, man, there's a meatball on the ground. The old you would have dove on that meatball. Yeah, I'm just not that into it.
There's also a straight...
And the cat's like, what's wrong, man? It's like, I don't know. Your hair's falling out. When's the last time you humped a pillow? Yeah. I can't even remember the last time. I'm just not feeling it, man. Well, you look good. I mean, you're thin. Yeah. And then that dog, the next day, just runs out under a truck and just ends its life. Because the dog, all the dog knows is
all he lives
it's
for.
depressed.
Yeah.
It's all it loved to do was hump legs and eat stuff that fell off the table.
That's its life.
Now a scrap falls off the table, it doesn't even look up.
Man.
Gone. No will, diarrhea, patchy hair, ending it all. So there's going to be a lot of dog-related suicides.
We'll have to keep track of the statistics on that. And
I'm going to crunch those numbers.
And there's a weird calculus as a pet owner.
Yeah.
I would rather have, if I had to choose, I would rather have a fat dog than a dog with chronic diarrhea.
No carpets allowed.
No, it's just, well, he's thin, but the house is a mess, but at least he's looking good.
Go back to just take your dog for a walk. And,
Dawson, sorry.
It's actually fairly simple for a dog to lose weight. Exercise is not that big a deal. That's not how it's
just
you have to feed them less.
Okay, so just
I've had
do
2
that.
dogs. The vet told me 2 times, like, your dog's overweight. You got to feed him less. Feed him less, gets thin. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
If only that worked for me.
Well, now there's Ozempic. I mean, that's for dogs. That's what you can do.
It's the new big pharma money grab.
You know what's going to happen is some idiot that's on Ozempic is going to think that their dog needs Ozempic and then try to share their Ozempic with their pet.
They're going to blame Trump. CNN's going to be like, Joe Rogan said to take kitty Ozempic. That's horse paste. What? No, we're confused. I love that whole horse pace thing. CNN was so confused. They didn't have. No one has a phone that they can look at.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're just confused. They're fucking retards. So, and then there's going to be stigma, like the dog that lost weight with the other dog at the park going looking good. Oh, Ozempic, they didn't earn that.
Yeah. I did this naturally. Chasing the ball and eating less.
That's right. Hey, when's the last time you got? You know what? Yeah, they'll probably say stuff like, you should lose your taste for pork chops and refine your taste for tennis balls, bro. Ooh. A biscuit that tastes like a tennis ball.
Oh, are you going to create this?
I'm going to write that down. I bet that might be something there because they love, and it's a biscuit you can throw. You know what I mean? Let's work those calories off, doggy daddy.
It's a biscuit with bounce.
A biscuit with bounce. Write that down. All right. So that was my Ozempic thought. And it's going to happen because, again, when a human gets on Ozempic and they go, if I feel tired or I have diarrhea or I lost my libido or whatever it is, then they can start adjusting shit. But they know They know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of cruel to put
I agree.
a dog on something that doesn't. The dog's going to experience this thing where, like, I'm not hungry and I got diarrhea and I'm depressed. You know what I
Depression's a
mean?
weird thing. Dogs are happy all the time. Why do you want to make your dog depressed? And
That's
that's
make
always
them cat-like.
It's always weird when, for humans or a pet, that the side effect of the medication is depression. Because I
Yes.
feel like anything you're taking is always like, I want to lose weight to feel better about myself. I want to
Yeah.
get over
Oh,
this
well,
issue to feel better about myself.
that's where the-
And then it's like, oh, I'm going to take this medication and it's going to give me depression.
I had a girlfriend for years that had major social anxiety.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, I think you need to go on drugs for this. And she was like, but the side effect is most people gain 30 to 50 pounds. And she was like, so I'm going to go on a drug that's going to help me have less social anxiety, but it's going to make me feel more insecure in public situations. No, thank you.
Listen, there's nothing that hikes in nature and classical music will not cure everybody, and a good diet. I've been saying that
Absolutely.
my entire fucking life, and nobody listens.
Well, now they listen. They just put on the weighted vest.
Yeah. I had this. I don't know what you guys think of this protocol, but I would argue against this protocol. I have a picture. I was away at Car Week, and I walked into a place called the Quail, which is a big event they do on a Saturday at a golf course or whatever. Oh, sorry, Friday at a golf course. And the tickets are $3,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's one of those events. Food and booze and music and cars, Bugattis and everything. Now, I got free tickets because I was hosting some fireside chat with some ex-racers and designers and blah, blah, blah. And someone could probably find some Quail pictures, maybe in some of me. I'm probably up on stage somewhere. But anyway, unnecessary. You find the picture of the bench, which is when you walk into the Quail, you walk down a long path, and they hand you a glass of champagne and everything else. And the first place I happen by, there's vendors. And they'll sell helicopters and jet airplanes.
And
they
yachts
got
and stuff.
yachts and stuff. They got rich people showing up, you know. And by the way, like, it's the kind of thing where there's these guys I know called the Ring Brothers, and they build custom cars or whatever. And they got like 5 orders for a $1.5 million builds, you know, each. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of business that's going on. And I came walking in, and I see this guy. He's an artisan, and he's got his table set up. He's got his booth set up. And I look at the picture of a bench. He built a bench out of wood, and then he paints it. And I looked at it, and I said, hey, that's my car. That's a 935 Porsche Apple car. I own that car. And it's the only car that was ever sponsored by Apple Computers. And it's from 1980. And I have it. And I looked at it, and I said, hey, that's my car. And he goes, yeah, you own that car. And I said, yeah, I do. And he goes, yeah, check out this bench I made. And I said, oh. And he said, I just take super iconic, beautiful cars, and I turn them into art. And I said, oh, wow, that's cool. And then I thought to myself, as a carpenter, I was like, how many board feet are in there? No, I thought to myself,
What's the weight load?
as a guy goes, he goes, I built this bench. I kind of look at everything and I go, yeah, that looks like, what is that? Clear 2x4 Doug fir. What is that? MDF? How'd you mean put a couple coats of lacquer on it? Like, I'm thinking to myself, what's it going to take to build this bench? Because I could build this bench. I can't paint an Apple car, but
Grok could for
Grok
you.
could paint it for me. So I said to the guy, you can go to adamcarolla.com and then we'll put this thing up. I looked at it and I go, well, I guess I'm the only one who owns the car who's walking past this bench today, because there's only one person. There's going to be 3,000 people going to walk past your bench, but only one person owns the actual car. You don't need to own the car to have the bench. You could have the bench and not own the car and enjoy the bench. But I said to the guy, it's a smallish bench. It's probably 4 feet wide.
Could fit a couple people.
Two people on Ozempic.
Shorter and shorter as they sit towards
Right.
the front.
And so I just said to the guy, well, I own the car, so I should ask, I guess. I go, they don't have price tags anywhere. I go, how much for the bench?
Ooh. What do you think, Adam?
Oh, I don't even know to venture a guess for that.
Well, it's a weird thing. I don't know I mean, I could build you the bench for $140.
Yeah.
But I don't know what his bench. It's got a car painted on it that he painted. But here's what I'm saying. Here's the protocol part. I don't know where you guys come down on this, but he goes, 15. And I go, oh, $1,500?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, 15,000.
Oh my god.
And I go, okay, but you should just say
guess
that.
like
just,
$5,000.
Just say it. Just say 15,000. Because
15 quarters.
It could be 1,500.
Yeah.
Is that 15 quarter? Like
$15,000 for that?
Well, we're at the Quail,
But
and he's an artist. But I'm saying,
He's an artist.
if you told me 1,500, I would still think about it. Like I would go, yes, so, as far as benches go, that's pretty expensive. But it did paint my car on it, and
Now, when you say you
it
painted
looked
your
cool
car,
in the garage.
is it like hand painted, or is that just like a
Yeah.
decal? That's what I couldn't tell. It takes some skill if that's hand painted, but is it just like a decal or a printing process that he just gets that image on there?
I don't know, because once he said 15K, I was like, I got to do a fireside chat, but maybe on the way out. On the way out, by the way, on the way out, I picked up a trash can, held it up, and ran past. I was like, I'm so fucking worried that guy was going to flag me on the way out.
what if you could offer him, let him drive the car and then you get the bench? Right?
Yeah.
If it's a one-of-a-kind thing that he clearly enjoys or appreciates as an artist.
That's possible. I did that with one of Hunter Biden's paintings, so I let him drive the Porsche, and he just gave it to me. So there's precedent there.
you go.
You know what I mean? All I'm saying is we're now in some sort of weird world where people throw stuff out, and it's more than once where I've had to say, I had someone buy quarter windows, the rear back window, not the side window where your cigarette hangs out of, the little quarter one in the back, and a coupe, an old Italian coupe, the quarter windows. And I said to that guy, he goes, I found them. I sourced them. They're out of Italy. We can get them and we can ship them back and whatever. Just 2 pieces of glass, 1.5 square feet. 1 square foot, really. And I go, how much are they? And he goes, 13. And I go, all right, let me sit down.
$13? What a great deal.
$1,300?
Yeah.
No, 13,000. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
Fuck, but that's the whole point. And by the way, when they go, just start off with 13,000 and go 15,000 because if there's a point where you get whiplash, like you go 15, like kind of fingers crossed, like we're talking 1,300. No, 13,000. It's like, fuck.
And just say the 1,000 out of the gate, not 13. Somebody's gonna assume that it's 1,000.
I don't know why.
Maybe it's because maybe it's the pressure of being in such a bougie place that they feel like that's how rich people
They know.
talk.
They think that's how rich people talk.
Yeah,
that
that
are
will
like,
pay
okay,
that.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
hold my Hermes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While I Venmo you.
Yeah, I don't know if he
15.
did a decal of the car or no, I don't think he decal. I think
It's
he
a hand painted.
I think he paints
Yeah.
it. And he's an artist and he paints cool stuff and God bless him. And look, like I said, if Hunter Biden can get $500,000, I mean, there were money laundering actually, but if they can just get $500,000 for bubbles, then the thing about Hunter Biden and his modern art, I was like, look, this is not an indictment of Joe Biden or the Biden administration or Hunter Biden. It is an indictment of modern art in general, which is this fucking flunky junkie over here can paint evidently every bit as good as every modern painter because I do not see the difference between what he's doing and what modern impressionist artists are doing. I see no difference.
And
zero.
If you buy the bench, that guy's probably going to spend his money on something better than what Hunter Biden would blow it on. So,
oh yeah,
Literally.
I could. Ironic that he painted with a straw. Like he probably was had it up his nose and was thinking, just one day just had the straw up his nose, like doing rails off a hooker's ass, and he was like, "Hey, what if I put it in my mouth and then blew it onto a canvas?" Oh, by the way, Andrew, sorry, you can go find my phone in the other room. I'll send it to you. 'Cause it just made me think. The Andy Warhol BMW was at the lawn. It was on the lawn.
Huh.
It was on the lawn at Pebble Beach.
Really?
And would that one cost 15?
It's owned by the BMW Motorsport, whatever. It's not privately owned. It's Andy Warhol painted a race car for BMW. BMW had art cars in the 70s and the 80s where people painted they had famous painters paint their car. I tried to buy a Frank Stella one a million years ago. Long story. It'll get me angry.
You had to settle for the Hunter Biden one.
Yeah, I don't know. What is a race car that is worth, that's my phone. What is a race car that is worth $1 million in primer? What's that car painted by Andy Warhol worth?
Oh.
And what's an Andy Warhol, Marilyn Monroe or Campbell soup can worth? I mean,
all in one.
It's the shittiest paint job you've ever seen because he didn't give a fuck and he was probably hacking Hines. Probably had one of his assistants paint it. But what is that car worth?
Wow.
Is the question. And does anyone know? And is it knowable? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
if it's never been sold or nothing like it has ever been sold, then how do you put a price on it?
Yeah, well, something like it was sold for $850,000 that I tried to buy.
But you said you weren't going to talk about
12 years
it
ago. Sorry. Okay, don't make me angry. Don't make me angry. But that's just don't make me angry. But that thing's worth millions and whatever. But let me see if I can find it.
Did you know an interesting thing about Andy Warhol is most of the art, like the celebrities that he did art of, like ended up purchasing or wanting a piece of them, except Dolly Parton.
Oh, really?
She didn't want.
And he was offended until the day that he died that apparently she never talked about it. She apparently never liked it and didn't want it. So what if you're BMW and you commissioned him and then he sends you that and you have to pretend to like it?
You send it back. You're like, all right, you can keep this one.
It looks like shit. I mean,
oh, there he is. Yeah, hard
there's
at work.
no. I'm trying to send it to you, Andrew. Let's see if that works. It looks shitty, but it's an Andy Warhol piece of art, and it's one of one. I mean, it's not a reprint or anything. And the canvas it's on is worth $1 million because it's a pro car, and it could be worth more than that anyway. So then the question, I don't know. You have to start at like 15 million or something like that.
Jeez.
I guess BMW owns it, so they're not selling it. So what have you. But yeah, it made it out. I saw it on the lawn. Oh, I tried to send you the picture and it said it failed. But why? Why does it have to fail?
It's Trump's fault.
I blame Trump. Oh, let's see. Let me try this one. See if it fails. Let's see. All right. Next subject. Andy Warhol estimate at 60 million.
60
Holy
million?
cow.
60. Well, it's a Warhol, and it's one of one, and it's an art car. And BMW only did like 5 or 6 art cars, and there it is. I think I sent it to you, Andrew.
$60 million.
God damn. And
Better
I
be
coulda got one
diamond
for
encrusted for
$800,000.
that.
Now, what if he had painted like a Toyota Corolla? The Andy Warhol.
A Pinto?
Yeah.
I would have been.
It was before that time, but it's just.
Well, I don't know what a Pinto is.
It'd be worth a lot, but not as much.
Yeah.
All right. So, next thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know. Back to the communication situation we have. I have thoughts about certain words being too close together in sound or spelling, which is like miles and minutes. sometimes I'll hit Waze or some nav thing, and I'll look down while I'm driving or something, and I see, oh, it's only 11 minutes, and then I go, oh, it's 11 miles,
the
and
MI.
it's 41 minutes, like it would, especially in LA.
Oh, yeah.
In LA, you go,
never know.
Oh, it's only 8 minutes away. No, it's 8 miles away, and that's 37 minutes.
Yes.
Like that's how this town works. So
Yeah.
I don't like that they both start with there's no reason why they should be a half inch apart on the same miniature screen while you're driving, trying
With
to
the
figure
same
it out.
abbreviation.
It shouldn't do it. Well, I know people go, it's what I say about push and pull. Diner doors say push and pull. It's PU, it's 4 letters. You're walking, you're not paying attention, and you slam the door because it said pull, and you just pushed it.
Then you look like the retard.
And sometimes it's small. Yeah, you feel
It's
stupid.
small.
Then you push, and then you're like, oh.
But I mean,
now I
you
feel
would
like an
never,
idiot.
you would never, nobody would design an aircraft where the landing gear, the word for retracting the landing gear and putting down the landing gear would be almost the same word. They would never do it because planes would crash all the fucking time because
Yeah.
they just wouldn't do it. And words shouldn't be that close together. They shouldn't. So push and pull, it should be push and yank. If it was push and yank, you'd never smack the door at the diner.
They should also only put a handle on it if it's pull. You ever
Right,
see the handle?
right.
Yeah.
And
But-
then you pull it. It's just,
But if
it's like,
we
why is
just
this
made
handle here?
yank, if we just put yank,
Yeah.
Yank.
we would solve this problem, right? And then I realized this happens a lot. And then I also realized that day and date are too close, and people just sort of swap them back and forth, because I'll say to people all the time, they'll go, we go in, we do the gig, and we come back the following day. And I go, what day is that? And they go, that's 25th. And I go, okay, that's the date. I'm asking what day are we coming
Ooh.
back?
Oh, like
you know
what,
what I
if
mean?
it's like a Wednesday or
People
Thursday.
don't. You talk to Mike August, and you can just go, what day are we coming back? And he'll go, the 19th. And then you have to ask again, what day? And then he'll always say, the 19th. And then I go, okay, thank you. And then as I said to him yesterday, what is the name of the day
Of the
that
week.
we return from Arizona? So, and I'm sorry we have to do this, but evidently we do. You know what I mean? And I realized I didn't ask the date. I asked the day. But we just do day and date and DA. And if it was yank,
Yeah.
if it was a totally different word, then you wouldn't get the bad response or the dumb response. Now, and I realize we've got to start setting some ground rules here. The other thing that I can't get over, because everyone, I think we split the nation in this. If I say to Mike on a Thursday, if I said to him on a Thursday of this week,
I think I would
I
agree with this
I go, when are we leaving? He'll go, next Monday. And I'll go, next Monday? And he'll go, next Monday. And I'll go, this Monday? And I'll go, no, next Monday. It's next week. And
That
I'll go,
is
I know, but
confusing.
we're past the closest Monday.
Yes.
And they'll go, next Monday. And I'll go, yeah, but next Monday could be a week from this Monday. But if you just say this Monday, then we'll never have
Yes.
to do this. And he'll go, it's next week. It's next Monday. And I'll go, yeah, but today's Thursday.
Yes.
And we don't own a time machine. So how confused could I get if you just said this Monday?
Yes.
When
in
I go,
one
you mean
sense,
the one?
This Monday is the next Monday, but it's not the next
Or just-
week.
or
It's not
just
the
Cannot
next
establish
week
this.
Monday. Yeah, you have to say this.
Cannot establish these ground rules.
Yeah.
Cannot establish them with people.
Yeah.
Where are we with this as a nation? And why can't we get somewhere with this? And why isn't it taught in school? So when I go, what day? He'll go, next Monday. And I'll go, this Monday? And he'll go, this next Monday. And then I'll go, when do we come back? And he'll go, the 14th. And I'll go, what day do we come back? And he'll go, the 14th. And I'll go like, oh, not date. So
Yeah.
we need date versus day. And we need this versus next. And if we could lay down some fucking ground rules, we could save a lot of heartache. I would argue that it's always this once you pass that day in the previous week.
Oh.
It's always.
I agree.
I'll give you. I'll give you.
If you're past that day,
I'll
I
go
think it's
one
this.
deeper.
Yeah.
I'll go one deeper. I'll do you one better. Even if it's Monday. Like, let's just say, all right, let's just say today's Monday. And I say to Mike August, when are we going to Arizona, he still should say this Monday. Because there's no way I'm asking about today.
It's in progress.
It's 5 in the
this
afternoon.
Monday is in progress,
We've established we're not going. But once you pass that day, it's got to be this, not next. And being in the next week does not mean it's still not this. Now, my technique eliminates all confusion. Mike's technique leaves the window open to some confusion, which is where he likes it, I think. So I literally said to Mike, also, there's got to be a part, whether you're talking about plugs at Home Depot, where they kind of know what the gestalt of what you're talking about. So Mike goes, we leave on the 19th, and we come back the next day. Now, here's the gestalt part. He goes, problem is, so we leave on the 19th, we come back the next day. But the problem is they got a flight to LAX, which gets us out of there at a pretty good time, but that's LAX. We want to go to Burbank, but if we do Burbank, we're not coming in till 5. But LA, what with the traffic and everything. And then I ask a question, which I want to know, is it a weekend? Is it a weekday? Because we're going to LAX, and it's going to be traffic, So then at that point, I think to myself, I could ask him what day, but he's going to give me the date. Now, even though he said we're leaving on the 19th and we're coming back the next day, which would make me clinically insane if I asked him what the actual date was, because we can all do the math on leaving on the 19th and coming back the next day. Not a lot of wiggle room into what's the date. But I realize Mike's going to do this. I know I'm driving a car. I'm multitasking, but I know in a millisecond, I know what he's going to do, and he's not going to provide the answer that I want. So I said, I'm in my head, in a millisecond, I tried to spin it. I said, what is a way that could prevent this? So he said, we're going out on the 19th, we'll come back the next day. I go, what is the weekday we're coming back? And I thought if I said weekday, it would somehow nail him down to an actual day name, right? I tried. And then he said the 20th.
That's his fault. That's not.
And then I
Do you
said,
think he's doing this on purpose at this point?
what is the day we're coming back? And he said the 20th. And I said, what is the name of the day we are coming back? And he said, Saturday the 20th. Now, I realize I said weekday. I didn't open it up to the weekend. In my haste to not do this, because I was like, I know what we're about to do this. I thought to myself, here we go. We're going to go down fucking a flume of retardation into a cesspool of retardedism, and I don't want to fucking do it, but I'm going to try as hard as I can. So I'm going to say day, and I'm going to even say weekday. I'm going to say weekday to try to avoid this. It's not going to work.
But it was
won't
a Saturday.
Yeah. It was a Saturday. I still argue he could have said Saturday. It's a Saturday.
It would have been funny if he said the next day.
Does he have the thing, though? I feel like some people have this savant kind of thing where if you say the 22nd, they know what day of the week that is. I don't have that. I was having a conversation with somebody recently where I was telling her on my show, I was like, if you want to come to my show, I said something like, it's the 21st, I think it's a Saturday. And this was like 3 weeks out. And she goes, no, that's a Friday. And I'm like, how do you
marry her?
How do you do that?
That's Mary Lou Henner.
It's like,
that's who that is.
I can't even do that like a week out. If it's the next 3 days, maybe I have the dates and the weekdays lined up. I can't do it further than that.
This is the guy at the Home Depot. He doesn't know what you're asking. I'm not, first off, I'm driving a car. The actual date, I'm not looking at a calendar or anything. That the number's not going to make a difference. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what day we're coming back. And by the way, it is spawned by the LAX 5 o'clock discussion.
Yes,
because
there's a context.
If you just got done saying we don't want to fly into LAX at 5, but if you said you want to fly into LAX at 5 on a Saturday or Sunday versus a Thursday, I might think about it, but it's going to be a total shit show if it was the middle of the week.
Yep.
So I'm sort of taking your idea and I'm expanding on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the real question is the second time. When I go, what is the day? And he goes,
then he's
the
doing it
20th.
on purpose. That's got to be on purpose.
Well, that's Mike digging in.
Yes.
Mike likes to dig in. Yeah. So, like, as if we're in a courtroom setting, and he go, Your Honor, I said the 20th. It's accurate. We are coming back on the 20th. I know.
Then
you would win. You would win in the court, but not in the court of humanity, where I'm trying to figure out what fucking day we're coming back.
What if he had said next Saturday?
Or
Or the next Saturday?
You got to push it. Now you got to push it back and say, "You mean this the 20th or the next the 20th?"
Yeah. All right. And again, I don't know. The reason I had such a weird reaction to it is I was driving my car. I know exactly where I was. I was going to do some Byron Allen show, and I thought to myself, I want to know the day, the name of the day we're coming back, but I know he's going to give me a number, so I have to think of a way to word it where he can't do that. But he beat me. He beat me.
You should just start sending him like the Happy Day theme song or like the kindergarten, like the days of the week. Days of the week.
Oh, or the Bay City Rollers,
There you
man.
go.
Saturday night. All right, let's see. You got news,
I sure
right,
do.
Elisha Krauss?
Yeah, sure do.
I think we'll take a break.
Cool.
Yep, break. Come back.
Cool.
Do the news right after this. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, O'Reilly Auto Parts coming at you with the smooth sound of efficiently fixing your automobile. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and the parts and knowledge you need to maintain and repair your vehicle. I'm always at O'Reilly. I've been there because, like I said, get the car ready to take to the track, getting ready to put a race together. Got to swing by O'Reilly, get prepped. Bought the water wetter from them. That's basically radiator fluid antifreeze, but it's for the track in case something gives. Doesn't create a slick. It's a long story, but they got it. So whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, friendly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today, or you can visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
In addition to being a writer, I also have 2 karate trophies and 3 weightlifting trophies. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but you can just go to the store and buy trophies.
Adam Yenser is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, funny, stand-up, good jokes. And what's the dry bar special called, sir?
Mine's called Not Big Enough to Cancel.
It is, it's very funny.
Yeah.
And it's digestible, 37 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
their specials are you can watch them easily in one sitting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got some news, Elisha Krauss.
We sure do. We have video with this first one. Joy Reid is claiming that white men are too mediocre to create things.
Let me, I just got to say something for people. Like, saying white guys do this is fine, or white girls do that, or, I don't know, Asians are crappy drivers but good at math or something. Like, I'm all fine with that. But there is a part where people start getting a little over their skis, like women's marches, when they start going like, where would we be without women? We don't even need men. And, they don't do anything but destruction. It's like, bitch, we invent everything. So how about that?
Well, not according to Joy Reid. We stole everything.
We stole everything.
Yeah.
All right.
They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU. They can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a white man the king. Because they couldn't make rock and roll. So they have to stamp the king on a man whose main song was stolen from an overweight black woman.
All right. Well, hold on a second. First,
I like that she emphasized overweight.
I know. I was like, what does her weight have to do with anything?
it's easier to steal shit from fat people because they can't run you down. Like, give me that song, bitch. And then you just hightail it. And she's
Sitting
all
there
out,
eating a ham
she's
still.
sucking off her inhaler. Like, oh, man, I wish they invented Ozempic. Oh, man, me and my fat dog will never catch up to the king. Him and the colonel ripped this. I was holding the song and a bucket of chicken.
Wait, come back with my song.
Come back here. Shaking her fist.
A drumstick.
A drumstick of chicken. A turkey leg. Yeah. Fat. Okay. She got a little. So here's an interesting thing. And I don't know how it works, but I think it's what goes on. They do this thing. Couples do it too, where like they start broad. Like the guy goes, I do everything around here, you know. Well, meanwhile, she's got a full-time job and she cooks dinner and she takes a kid to school, and then they go, I do everything. I got to do everything. And then they start to hear themselves and they're picturing them cooking dinner and leaving for work and doing stuff. And they go, I was in the garage organizing 3 months ago. Nobody else organizes the garage. Who's going to put the wood screws with the wood screws and the machine screws? And all of a sudden it's like, well, you do the garage, but that's not everything. Yeah. But did you find yourself getting over your skis? Because are you picturing the rocket program and jet airplanes and skyscrapers and bridges and automobiles and Normandy and stuff like Skylab and the Hubble telescope when you're talking about black people?
Yeah.
And did you start narrowing it into Hound Dog? You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
The other thing, I saw this.
An Ozempic shot.
That song was also, they gave it to the female black singer first, but it was written by two white guys. The song was written by a white songwriting duo.
I just like, I love how she threw our friend's PragerU in there. Yeah. I'm like, excuse me, if anyone has been rewriting history, it's like leftist teachers unions for a bajillion years. This homeschool chick right here, like, learned all of this American history. And it's like, it's actually public schools that hasn't been doing a good job of teaching American history or civics.
Yeah.
Well, also, I don't know. I like to play a game called Stupid or Liar, but it's like PragerU points out that while we were engaged in slavery, every civilization historically was engaged in slavery. So there are many, many black slaves and many black slave owners as well. And we fought a war to end slavery. That's their point. So you saying like denying history, obviously you're the one who's denying history. History is a war was fought to end slavery. I know you don't like the theme of it because she is a racist. And by the way, imagine waking up every day with just a head full of black people, white people. Who invented this? Who invented that? Like, who stole this? I mean, it's got to be... It's a full-time job, but she's definitely a racist. You wouldn't think that way if you weren't a racist. Hound Dog was written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. Yeah. Well, they originally wrote the song for Big Mama Thornton. Sorry.
They're the ones listed as the songwriters in BMI ASCAP for royalties. I kind of find it hard that I'm not going to totally believe that Big Mama Thornton went into the studio and sang a song written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. No, I bet it was her song.
Yeah.
She just didn't get the publishing credit.
You could be possible. Right. I mean, that happened a lot
that happened
in the industry.
all the time.
It happened a lot in the industry. And then, like, studio artists, too.
But I don't know. Like, why not?
I don't know either. But the music business was incredibly corrupt, especially towards black people in the beginning.
Yeah.
Their songs, publishing credit, writing credit was really taken from them. A lot.
All right, well, we can look it up. I don't know if there's more information on. Maybe there's that version.
I'm looking. I just I understand that the internet is going to tell you it's a song written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stone.
Well, I think the problem is
they got the credit.
Well, then everything is on the tables, what I'm saying, for every song throughout history. We can go, the internet says, but come on now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't it put every artist from history from a long enough back who's black, you can't say it. Like, you go, couple of Jewish guys wrote White Christmas? I don't think so. And then they go, but the internet says, and you go, yeah, that's what the internet says.
I will say this. Every single Beatles song is credited as Lennon-McCartney.
Right.
And then
there was this overweight
there are
black
certain
woman.
songs that only John wrote or only Paul wrote.
Yeah.
But they're still credited to Lennon-McCartney. So whoever is
not
listed,
really making your point, though, because both their names are still in it, and they were a band.
No, I understand that. But there are Paul McCartney songs that John Lennon didn't have a goddamn thing to do with it. Why is Lennon's name on the song if he didn't fucking write it?
Well, I did a show called The Man Show, and me and Jimmy just get credit for all the bits that are on The Man Show. And some of them he wrote, and some of them I wrote, and some of them a writer we hired wrote, but we're all get equal credit. We get credit for creating the show because we're the creators and we were the collaborators. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what jokes Matt and or Trey from South Park write. They just both get the credit. But there's individual stuff they both did.
No,
episodes.
I
and
understand
stuff.
that. I don't see. All I'm saying is that just because the internet says that Big Mama Thornton didn't write that, I don't have any evidence.
I know you don't, but you're just disagreeing. But what I'm saying is,
I'm not just disagreeing.
Well, it could have
making
happened.
A point that I don't think. Do you think Jerry? I don't know. Let's look up the words to Hound Dog and tell me if you really think a guy named Jerry Lieber wrote it.
Well, I don't think that's a great argument. I'm saying you think a guy named Jerry.
It sounds like
you're
he ain't got
saying,
no
Dawson,
soul.
but I'm saying under your conditions, we would have to question almost every song from 1960 back that included a black person performing it.
I would certainly question the record company operators in the Motown era. And I would certainly say that a lot of the songwriting credits who went to them, they did not write the songs.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a whole arc on this in The
in-
Sopranos
I've
as
seen
well.
those guys. I've seen those guys interviewed. Those like writing duos in Motown and stuff, and they'll tell you the songs they wrote. Now, I'm sure the artists put their own fucking flavor on
they have
everything.
to, yeah.
But I'm just saying you can't know anything for certain. But at a certain
I'm
point,
not being certain. I'm just saying it's sketchy.
I'm certain at a certain point you have to just go, look, that's what's written, because other than that, it leaves everything wide open with any song then that's old that was sung by a black performer. That's what I'm saying. So I get that's what went on. I don't know. Take a deep dive in it, because there's probably somebody, if there's evidence to suggest otherwise, then maybe she did write the song. But I'm going to say those two dudes wrote the song. For now. All right. Now what were we talking about? Inventing
Joy
stuff.
Reid.
Joy Reid.
Starting real broad, getting in over her skis.
Well, also in the clip, she's wearing the FDT, fuck Donald Trump hat. That's that derangement thing. Like, how much do you have to hate somebody to wear a hat of what you hate? Like, why?
All the
it's
time.
just bizarre.
It must be really
to
exhausting.
just have to communicate that constantly. Oh, I'm wearing a fuck Donald Trump hat.
Like, I have to make it known every single day that I don't like white men, and
insane.
especially Donald Trump.
There's a kind of a weird narcissism that's baked in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
you should really stifle yourself if you think you're going to start saying, like, all black women, so-and-so, or men. Also, it's a weird thing. I've said a million times, like, my heritage is Italian, but I don't dress like a gondolier and explain that,
And go to the
Frank
Venetian.
Sinatra. Let me tell you, don't even get started with Elvis Presley. Frank Sinatra, that's the king, all right?
Yeah.
And that dual Ghia-bodied Ferrari over there, that's the finest automobile in the world. Who wants some more pasta? You know what I mean? Like, and I just build my hole with the fucking flag hanging behind me and the song playing the whole time.
Yeah.
You want more wine with rope around the bottle? Take some more. Take some more. Like, it's weird. It's like, yeah, okay, you're black. Okay, fine, nice. And like, okay, maybe you have a team. Maybe like the Dodgers or the Mets, so you put a ball cap on once in a while. But it's not your entire fucking world. Like, just non-stop. It's like it's like a disease. I almost feel bad for them.
Yeah, and the over the skis thing, it's so hyperbolic. Like you had to say, just because maybe you can pick out one thing where you're like, white men didn't invent this, or this was miscredited to them, or they were. But when you go, that means white men never created or invented anything, you're immediately going to run up against proof that that's not true. And
well, I don't know what. Let's watch it again. Was she went broad, and then she caught herself maybe and started to focus like my garage analogy.
Let me read this first paragraph, though, because this one isn't on video. It says, quote, they don't have the intellectual rigor to actually argue to debate us, right? And what they do is tattle and tell. They run and tell teacher that, quote, the black lady or the brown man was mean to me, and that's what they always do. And then she continues here.
Oh. By the way, the person, like, when they talk about modern society and like who I'm sort of in love with, it's not the person that's spouting out whatever nonsense they're spouting out, or Kamala Harris who's talking about something, or Joe Biden who's talking about baggage fees or something. Like, it's not that person. It's the person that's interviewing them going, Like, no one goes, hold on, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? Like, they just go, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This guy, I think they think it makes him look smarter. So here's also that she titled the episode, quote, how mediocre white men and their fragility are destroying America.
It's mediocre. All right.
And her guest,
hey, Tom Brady, I got bad news for you. You're mediocre. Do you understand? Albert Einstein and Tom Brady. Tommy Lasorda, you're all mediocre. That's right. All right. All right, we'll watch it again. Let's just see if she starts to catch herself. And again, I do love the guys who nod. Who just go, oh, yeah.
They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU. They can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a white man the king. Because they couldn't make rock and roll. So they have to stamp the king on a man whose main song was stolen from an overweight black woman.
By the way, Big Mama Thornton did not write Hound Dog. It was written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller specifically for her. Oh. So you are 100% correct.
Wow.
And the part of that quote where Joy said they can't originally invent anything.
Yeah.
They meaning
white men. Mediocre.
Right.
Us mediocre white men.
Like the guy's doing all the head nodding.
Mr. Ali.
Yeah, what's his name?
His name is Wajahat. Sorry, guys.
Wajahat
Ali.
Wajaha. If I was Wajaha, I'd be like, yeah. No, you're right. I agree with you 100%. Hey, could we go ahead and make sure that device you use all day, every day is turned to airplane mode? But by the way, was not invented by a black dude. Oh, and speaking of airplane mode, airplanes. Let's talk about them. Jesus fucking Christ. But this is the beautiful, I will tell you the ultimate white privilege. I get to go, that's funny. Anyway, what are we eating for lunch? Because I don't care. Yeah. Because we understand who we are, what we've done historically, good and bad.
And I think that historically, when you actually teach American history, you can have the tough conversation and the honest conversation about white men did create a lot of those things because of the disparity in what we did, kept black people from doing in this country or Native American people from doing in this country, etc. Had they had the same rights at the time, maybe a lot of black men would have created those things too. But she doesn't go there. She just goes to, like you said, the racist prognosis of white men are evil. They cannot create everything.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I'm like secondarily evil.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
You're
it must be
You're
really
a white
hard.
woman.
I'm like second to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Adam's gay, so it's a tie.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, bro. It's an intersectional tie
this is
because
why
you're blonde.
We're bringing
and
you on
white.
the podcast to tell you you're gay.
Don't you think?
But you told him to marry a woman earlier, so are you trying to give him like?
I thought it'd be better for business, but now we're changing direction.
I
think in the intersectional points,
yeah,
I think a man, obviously a woman has more points by virtue of being a woman intersectionally because she's blaming men for everything, but you're blonde.
Yes.
And that brings you up a little bit, you know. And if you're gay, that knocks you down.
Gonna hide
a
under
couple.
So
and
you
just identify.
point at me.
I think
What if? But if he identifies as a woman, then he's more important than I am, and then I get knocked down again.
Look, I just found out I'm gay today. I'm not going trans.
There's
I
a
need
lot.
a few days.
The day's young.
I need some
The
time
day's
to
young.
adjust. Yeah.
Well, okay, so you're a woman, so you're not an evil man, but on the other hand, you're blonde, and that puts you ahead of Pete Buttigieg. In the intersectional point, you would get more ire than he would because we don't think his gay ancestors invented anything, including slavery. So I'm unclear whether your ancestors have to be gay, but that's how I like to think of it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? Anyway, she's a horrible, foul, and dumb person.
This conversation about the invention and the women thing, this is only tangentially related, but when I was writing at the Ellen Show, every season this idea would come up, whether it was from one of the writers or the producers, to do a monologue about how everybody thinks men invented everything. Let's do a monologue about the things women had invented. And we did this monologue once, and it was things like windshield wipers. I remember Wi-Fi was on there. Whiteout. There's like a handful of things. And then every few months it would come up, let's do another one of those about things women had invented. And we'd look, and it was like the same list. Every list of things women had invented is the same like 10 things. And it's like once you talk about those things, it's very hard to find other things.
Because it turns out that men and women are inherently different and positive and negative that can work well together in society. But we're going to have different strengths and weaknesses, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's like statistically, people prefer a female boss, but men also are the ones that like trudge forward and build a company out of nothing that can then hire the female boss that everybody likes better.
Yeah,
that's just the way things are.
It's a weird. So here's the problem: you have, think of women in terms of inventions is like a snake bitten NFL franchise. You know what I mean? And you're a Patriots guy, and I'm a Cleveland guy. And I got to cobble something together. Like, well, Bernie Kosar was underrated. Underrated. And it's like, it's still, you got 0 Super Bowl rings. I got fucking 6. You can keep talking. You can talk all fucking night about Clay Matthews or Bernie Kosar or Jim Brown. Was originally, you brought that up 28 times. That's all you fucking got. You have no Super Bowls. So you can keep talking as much as you want to talk. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know what women do have?
What's that?
We birthed all of the men that created the things.
You always have, you always have
and
that.
I agree.
Yes,
so focus on that,
exactly.
Joy.
We grew and we sustained and we raised.
I
you
agree.
guys.
I agree. But when you got to start dipping into whiteout, here's what I'm saying: or windshield wiper blades.
Yeah.
And let's just do a little thought experiment. I'm going to put a list of notable inventions that white guys came up with.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we'll start with the jet engine, or we'll start with an automobile, or we'll start with rocketry, or I don't know, fire, the wheel. I don't know where we would start, but we would start. How long before we got to windshield wiper blades? Like how far down? Like we'd be at lawn darts and Parcheesi before we got to fucking blades on a windshield wiper. And by the way, I would argue that if you did list of great white men inventions, you would never list whiteout or windshield wiper. It wouldn't make the cut. The cut would be the top 2 billion.
Wi-Fi's pretty good. so funny.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, I think, was an assist. I think it was a man and woman team.
A team?
Yeah.
Well, because there's also a lot of like pharmaceuticals that were like men and women teams.
All right.
Margaret Thatcher helped create soft serve, so
Wow.
Oh, really?
you could then argue without Margaret Thatcher, Ozempic wouldn't be as popular.
All right. Joy, the aptly named Joy. All right. What else we got?
All right. I think this one is going to really excite you. Apparently, a guy over on Reddit, he's 28 years old, and he got into a dispute with his father after asking for a to-go box at a restaurant. But that's not it. In the post, he wrote that the fight began after his family went out to eat at a diner on his dad's dime. He said, quote, I ordered the main course, but also felt like I was in the mood for a side dish, so I ordered it as well. My eyes were bigger than my stomach because I was unable to finish my food, so I asked for a to-go box. But his dad was peeved by the move. And apparently the father told him that it was rude, that when someone else is paying for your meal, you shouldn't order extra stuff if you won't be able to finish it.
That's my policy. It's always been my policy.
Your team dad?
Yeah, I've gone out to dinner with guys that bought dessert for their wife to bring home.
On your dime?
That's
Yeah.
really
that's
on your
that's-
time? No, that's not thoughtful.
That's
That's just
gifting
cheap.
it to someone else.
Yeah.
At first I was like, that's romantic.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no.
No, I don't like it. That's that.
Well,
number one. Listen, I've jokingly always said I would do it. I don't know. I'd do it just to embarrass whatever woman was sitting next to me. I'd go take this couple out to dinner, whatever. And then I would give the announcement. I'm like, look, we're going to treat you guys to dinner. I'm going to treat you, and that's fine. And order whatever you want, drink whatever you want. It's all on me. But if there's anything left over, it's coming home with me. That's my policy. And by the way, eat as much as you like.
Yeah.
But you understand I have to set that policy or people are going to be ordering sandwiches to bring home and desserts. I can't have that.
If you know somebody else is buying, though, do you go for the most expensive thing on the menu?
Not usually, and I'm often self-conscious about
Yes.
it. Even if I pick something not looking at the price, if I look at the price and then it happens to be one of the top 2 or 3 most expensive things, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I shouldn't. But then you read the table. If other people are going for that,
or the person who's
then I'm like,
buying the
they've
dinner.
they've set the standard that you can do that. If I'm buying dinner for friends, I usually don't say it until the end. I wait until the meal's done. I go, I'll cover this one. I'll buy this meal. That way, they've already made their choices.
That's smart.
Oh, that's decent of you.
Then you can say you can do the nice thing, but they've already made. They can't at that point be like, oh, then I'm going to get some more to go.
That makes sense. I like have had very generous bosses where in the past they're like, we're buying dinner. You know, they're buying dinner, like especially when you're on the road for work and stuff. But then one of them specifically, it was always like he would order everybody the thing that he liked to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Which I lucked out because I also like Cabernet and ribeye. But for the vegan at the table, they're just like, is there sour cream in the potatoes? Like, they're kind of stuck.
I got to say, I may be the most decent orderer. I may be good because as Dave Rubin brought up on this program a couple of weeks ago when he took us all out to dinner, including Dennis Prager and others, and I was sitting next to a billionaire whose name escapes me right now, but he brought it up.
David Sachs?
Yeah, I think it was David Sachs.
They're buddies.
Yeah, David Sachs, billionaire.
Yeah.
PayPal Mafia.
Yeah, billionaire. And we were ordering. I said, well, I'll get a steak, and he got a steak. I said, I'd like a baked potato, but I don't need the whole baked potato. And I said to David Sachs, you want to split a baked potato? And he said, yeah, I'll split a baked potato. And I said, Dave, just give us one, and we'll split it.
Nice.
And I saved him $4.
That's great.
That's the point. And he's out of his mind. He's like, I can't believe you split a baked potato
With a billionaire?
With a billionaire, because it's also the cheapest thing on the item on the menu. And I go, I wasn't going to eat a whole baked potato, and neither was the billionaire to my left. So we split it.
Yeah.
By the way, you should be thanking me.
Yeah.
This is very
That's very
thoughtful.
sustainable, actually,
Thank
for two
you.
conservative rich
It's frugal.
Thank-
It's
you.
You don't want anything to go to waste.
Yeah, so me and Sachs split
Baked potato.
baked potato.
Have you guys ever bought anybody anything though, and you were like, whoa, hold on there?
I started to tell you this story beforehand. I live over in Toluca Lake. I got to point the right direction because I know that's. But
You point toward Glendale, bro.
but during the height of the Newsom homeless camps that were popping up everywhere, under the bridge in Toluca Lake, there was a homeless tent camp, and there's a McDonald's right next door. It's by the Comedy Chateau.
I may or may not know that McDonald's.
I was leaving the Comedy Chateau one night, needed late food. I get in line at the drive-thru. There's a homeless guy by the menu board begging like, hey, can you guys buy me something? Hey, can you get me food? And I was feeling generous, and I said, sure, go ahead. What do you want? he starts going, 4 double cheeseburgers, 3 large fries. He ordered a caramel macchiato.
What?
I was like, I didn't know homeless people, you don't get a caramel macchiato. You get life sustenance food out of my generous. He ordered more food than I did. I was like, I think he's buying for everyone under the bridge, the whole tent camp. But I felt totally taken advantage of because I was like, I'm doing this to be nice. And then he just ran up, I'm going right down the menu, ordering 10 different things.
And he's like, and make it extra large.
Yeah. It was just like
extra large fry.
Caramel
number 4.
macchiato.
that was the one that was more insulting to me. Like multiple burgers or multiple fries.
Yeah, you're like, maybe he's saving it up for the next
caramel
few
macchiato
days.
is like that's like a luxury item. I feel like that's an extra. That's not. I don't even get a caramel macchiato when I go to McDonald's.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a homeless guy. I was going out to eat once at a homeless guy, like in Beverly Hills, and he's like, came up to the window. I was like, "Hey man, you got any cash or something?" And I like reached my ashtray, and I think there was like a $5 bill, and I gave him a $5 bill, which is more money than my dad ever gave me. And I gave him a $5 bill, and he looked at it and he goes, "Oh man, can't you do me better than that, bro?"
Stop.
And I said, I could give you $1 million, but I'm not. Like, you should be pretty fucking happy
You
with
said
your
that
$5.
to him?
Yes.
You said I could give.
No, he looked at me, saw the car, went, "You can do better than, like, you can do, like, we're at a charity auction or something, I'm buying Shaq's shoe or something." They're like, "You can do better than this." I'm like, "Of course I can do better than that, but I'm not." But it's insane that you brought that up.
You say, how much are you expecting? He goes, 15.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more if you have one more.
One more. Rosie O'Donnell is slamming Jay Leno. Have you guys watched this Biggest Loser series on Netflix?
I've heard about it.
It's
I
like
have
in the
not seen
top
that
10.
one yet.
I haven't watched it.
All right, who do you think? This is a question for Adam, who worked for Ellen. Mm-hmm. So I know someone who was like an executive producer during Rosie's first run, where she was way over the top, saccharine sweet, cutie patootie chub club. Had such a crush on Tom Cruise and everything else, and said she was the meanest bitch he's ever dealt with, and dreaded his job because he had to fire people every single day.
Oh
like
my
and
gosh.
literally, she would tell him, "Go fire that guy," and go fire that guy. Like just now. This Rosie is the real Rosie.
Yeah.
The super bitter, angry, never smiling, no sense of humor. That's the real Rosie. We had the fake Rosie in the Chub Club, cutie patootie, overcompensation Rosie. Just like we now have the real Ellen, and there's a real Bill Cosby. He used to like to dance, not so much. Okay. Who do you think at their prime was meaner?
Oh, between Rosie and Ellen?
Yeah.
Ooh.
At the prime of their bullshit pretending to be nice prime.
I think Rosie was probably more overtly mean.
Rosie was overt. Yeah, because he used to tell me to literally tell me he had to fire people every day. And then eventually
and I know
he
people
got
that worked
fired.
on both shows.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so yeah, I would say I think Rosie was more overtly mean. And Ellen, she was like tough and difficult. I think a lot of it with Rosie, it sounded more like it radiated from her.
Yeah, like
from
just
what I
a
heard.
bitter
Yeah.
person. I heard some View stories too.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was not so nice when she was over at the View either.
Oh, Rosie?
Yeah.
Well, Rosie's a super angry, sad, rageful person. So she's not going to... You could go... Did you hear about Rosie on The View or at the zoo or in a train or on a plane? And it's all going to be the same story because it's a horrible, vitriolic,
In
angry...
LA, in Ireland.
And by the way, she, victim, survivor, lashing out all the time. Yeah, that's what you're dealing with.
Well, now she's lashing out at Jay Leno. After watching the Fit for TV, the reality of The Biggest Loser over on Netflix, she publicly called out Jay Leno for how he treated a former contestant who's featured in the documentary, Tracy Yukich, on the show. Apparently, she said, quote, "Jay Leno is a mean a-hole. Hashtag Biggest Loser documentary," and captioned her Instagram post that included photos of Tracy during the confessional and on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno in the new docuseries. So apparently Yukich was recalling a time that she went on Jay Leno's late night show and he read her death threats that she had received, I guess as part of a bit. But O'Donnell said that wasn't funny. and you can't say that you're not sorry. Like, seriously, so hurtful and so cruel. Come on.
Well, first of all, Jay is super nice and Rosie's super mean. So the idea that she's calling Jay mean is ironic because she's super mean and he's
Projection.
super nice. So there's a lot of that. He's doing a bit, right? I mean, I haven't seen the bit. I don't know.
Yeah, when the clip that I saw of it, it was kind of a bit, which I feel you guys have experience with this. I do not. It's like when they pre-interview you and they pre-plan you when you're going on a late night show.
Well,
right?
we'd have to look for that. See if that bit exists. Yeah, there you get a segment producer and they produce your segment.
So she knew what she was walking into.
Oh yeah, well 100%. They would never bust out a bit
Like,
on
surprise.
you.
Yeah.
No, it's all pre-cooked and worked out days in advance.
And then which late night show is the one that like has made it a thing now, and they have celebrities read the death threats?
That's
and the mean
Jimmy's
tweets?
show.
Kimmel does
Yeah.
the mean tweets.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
And it's like a shtick now.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's a good bit.
And what's weird about this is like, I worked at Conan, so I'm no fan of Jay Leno personally, but I've heard he's a great guy to work for.
Yeah, the greatest.
And that's the same thing with like with Conan and Leno, both of them, their staffs love them. They're good people to work for. They're friendly. And it's weird because someone like a Rosie or like an Ellen, like Rosie made her whole thing like cute and nice and funny. Whereas on a show like Leno, they might do jokes about celebrities and stuff that are mean-spirited or but personally they're good people. It's like the opposite. It's like you have this sense of humor where you can make fun
one
of
is
things,
overcompensation.
but one is like who you are as a person.
Well, what they're doing, what Rosie and Ellen are doing is overcompensation because they don't want people to discover how mean they actually are and what horrible people they are.
It's a facade.
It's right, but so if you said, let's just put it to you this way. Let's just say it was the 1950s, and you had a dad, and he was a football coach, and he'd sit around and go, I think that Jenkins kid may be gay. Jesus Christ, my kid was gay. I'd have him sleep on the lawn. I'd be out of this family. And you were gay, right? And you were like his teenage son. You would come home and be like, Dad, nailed another prom queen. Now where's the Schlitz? And when are we going to go chop some wood? Because you'd be like, if this guy finds out who I really am. And you would never come in and go like, I'm going to take a me day and do a little decorating around the house. Because you'd go, shit, that's what's lurking. Like you would overcompensate so he didn't.
That's
so
what I'm going to do after this podcast. Now
with
that
the gay
called
part,
me. I got to prove to everyone. No, it was a joke. It was
Rosie, everything.
Gonna call up that girl that knew the day of the week.
Conan and Leno don't have to pretend to be nice.
Yeah.
By the way, this is micro and macro. I know plenty of people that are bullshit nice all the time, and I'm not that nice. I'm not nice at all. I'm not mean. I'm just fair, And people overcompensate all the time. Do you think Kamala Harris laughs that much in real life?
Oh my God.
Do you ask her staff how jovial she is? Ask Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton does those things. You think she's that way with her staff backstage? I don't think she's that. It's total overcompensation for, I guess, knowing or thinking you're this person. So Jay gets to live in his own skin because he's not that person. Rosie has to create some sort of TV-friendly version of herself that would be palatable to America because no one wants to see a super angry lesbian get up there and pout and scream at people. And the same with Ellen. Now they're retired and they've been put out to pasture. They get to drop the facade and go, here's who I am. And no one ever really does the math. Do the math today. Who's super nice? Who's super... And all the fucking mayors and all these idiots are like, everyone needs to be treated with dignity. Everyone needs a seat at the table. I care about what... You don't care about anything, bitch. You're mean. It's overcompensation. We can't find the Leno
And they
clip.
do it...
You saw the clip?
Well, because I watched it on Netflix.
I
don't know if you want to get sued.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, when you see someone being overly nice, assume, unless it's Henry Winkler, who is actually that nice, assume it's some sort of compensatory something.
Well, and when
you see me not being nice, Assume that's because I'm a cool dude and super chill and nice.
Another big part of it is not just acting nice, but telling people that you're nice. I feel like these people, they're ones that have said, I'm the nice person.
Well, not only that, but they're making these... Let me tell you, I got raised by these people.
Yeah.
They basically talk, there's people who go to bed hungry every night, and there's children who don't know, and these people come here, and they want a better life, and they be treated with these people don't do anything for those people ever. Ever.
Oh,
They don't do shit for those people. They barely pay taxes. And so it's all over compensation. So spot it out there. Would you please,
I almost
people?
got kicked out of a mom group chat during the early ice raids because people were pissed at me asking, so what did you do today to help an immigrant?
I got my lawn mowed. When you...
I bought one at Caramel Macchiato.
if you ever get kicked out of a mom group, can I take your place?
Oh my God. I'll just... But I don't... Well, you could identify...
I want to infiltrate a mom group.
You want to infiltrate a mom group?
Yes.
The group chat?
Yeah.
I had to delete WhatsApp, man. I had to delete WhatsApp and Signal and Telegram. I'm like, if you really like me and know me, you have my number and you can text me the old-fashioned way.
If you get kicked out, I want to take your place, and I'll be like, hey, man, how's it going with Whiteout 2 and the next windshield wiper blade, bitches?
Whiteout 2, even whiter.
Even whiter. I'm asking because I'm white. All right. We need to take a break. Adam, we'll give you plugs at the end of the show. Always great to talk to you, my friend.
Sure.
And Elisha Krauss, always a great job.
Thank you.
Leo Zacky's going to run for governor and fix this town. We'll do him right after this. Mint Mobile. You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. Unless you're into that kind of thing. Financial torture. While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and 3-day weekends, the last thing you need is for your phone company to suck the life out of your wallet. That's why I dumped my old plan and switched to Mint Mobile. Same coverage, same speed, but without the surprise. Here's the bill that'll make you cry fees. They don't have any of those. I use Mint Mobile, and you should too. The quality's just as good as my old provider, but I'm saving enough to actually enjoy my summer. Make the switch and let your wireless bill be the last thing you have to worry about. Unless you want to worry about that. I don't think you want to. I think you want to worry about your tan instead. It's Mint Mobile, right, Dawson?
Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Adam. That's mintmobile.com/Adam. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Mihola, just saw a guy on the Hank Aaron State Trail in Wisconsin on an e-unicycle.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Ooh, e-unicycle. We'll talk to Leo Zacky right now. He's running for governor of California. And you can get his info at Instagram or TikTok at Leo S. Zacky with a Z, right? Mm-hmm. And find out what his... I don't even need to know where you stand on anything. You can just be the opposite of all things Gavin Newsom. And I would vote for you. You just have to do the opposite of everything he does.
That's pretty easy.
It's easy, right?
Yeah, but it's better when you have solutions to the problems.
Yeah. Well, what would you do? Let's say, I don't know. Okay, fuel prices. They're $6. I literally just drove up to a race up north. Diesel was like $5.50. a gallon.
That's why my friend who's a truck driver won't come to California. It's too damn expensive, plus all the carb stuff. But when it comes to lowering the price of gas, well, we have so much oil here in California, and we're just not tapping into it because there's environmental regulations blocking us from that.
Yeah,
we could easily create hundreds of thousands, over 100,000 jobs, tons of billions, tens of billions in revenue annually. We'd have the cheapest gas because we could refine it all here.
What? And I always ask this to everybody, and I bring it up with Dr. Drew and I, who sort of are in wonderment of the Newsoms and the Karen Basses of the world. And I'm proud to say that I ran into Rick Caruso at Pebble Beach at a car auction, and he came up to me and he said, I was slated to meet with the mayor, Karen Bass, and we had it like on the calendar, and then Karen Bass's office sent him a screenshot of the vlog I did with Rick Caruso, where I'm sure we talk shit about Karen Bass, and sent her a screenshot and said, no more meeting. By the way, that's the way they roll, which is like anyone who gives them a hard time or even asks them like, hey, your city burned down. Can we ask any questions? Like, no meeting with you.
Yeah, right? It's about accountability, right? And they don't want to be held accountable because they know that they're total failures. I mean, it's so obvious.
Well, Karen Bass has the ultimate excuse. She should just go, don't blame the fire on me. I was in Ghana.
Yeah. Well, but we knew that the high wind warnings were in place a couple days before. We could have taken preventative measures.
Oh, this discussion is over. Yeah. So so Karen Bass is incompetent, and Gavin Newsom's like a sociopath. But what do they want? I mean, do they want power? Okay, but wouldn't Karen Bass and Gavin, if California was doing well and not the laughingstock of every other state in this union, wouldn't it help Gavin Newsom become president?
Well, that's his idea. He's this whole war right now that he's doing with California against Trump is to be like, I'm the guy standing up to Trump. Democrats get behind me. I mean, they really don't have. Who are they going to run? Who are the Democrats going to run realistically?
But but does anyone ever say to Newsom, if California was run better, it would help your chances of being the president?
Right. That would be the ideal concept. I have no idea why they choose to go down this route, aside from it's got to be corruption, right? I mean, his aunt is Nancy Pelosi by marriage, and she wins her congressional seat year in, year out effortlessly. But she also raises tens of millions of dollars, and then she turns around and uses that capital to help other congressional candidates around the country get elected. And then it's basically, all right, you're in power now because of my ability to get you the funding that you needed to get you across the line. You're beholden to me.
Right.
And so it's a big power thing. Obviously, you'd want people to do the right thing. My goal is to just fix this place and do the right thing because we're all suffering under it. But they don't care. I mean, you already said he's a sociopath. So why would he have any emotions or feelings towards anybody else?
Yeah, I think in terms of like in a world where we throw around titles like you're a narcissist, you're a sociopath. He may be a true sociopath. Like I've never interviewed anyone like him. When he speaks, he sounds like one. He literally, that's how he comes across. Because there's not a lot of other explanations for the guy. Now, Karen Bass, she could be part dumb and part communist.
Well, she's definitely communist, for sure.
Right.
But what would these people do if they weren't elected to these positions?
Right. Oh well, listen, we figured it out. We have, Mayor Via Retardo, who was... I always call him Mayor Via Retardo, which I always enjoyed. Who's what's his real name?
Antonio?
Yeah, well, no, Tony Villar's his real name.
Oh.
So Antonio Villaraigosa was our mayor for what felt like 12 years. I don't know how long. He was in there for a long time.
Yeah, and it was an awful time.
And it's awful, and he's awful, and he's dumb, and he failed the bar 4 times. And now he just does something with Herbalife. Like here's kind of what I'm saying.
Isn't that like a pyramid scheme?
I'm assuming, but here's my whole point. You run what is like the 7th biggest economy in the world for 12 years, and then you retire and you're young and you do nothing because you're not employable. Karen Bass isn't, you have to go get on the board of regents at Stanford or something. But you yourself, you can't do what Elon Musk does because you're dumb shit. And also you're lazy and you're communist or whatever. But we have a mayor who's basically a communist, right?
Yeah.
She'd been to Cuba many times, loved Fidel.
Yeah, she was a part of some socialist organization back in like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And then like when Fidel Castro died, she like called him the Comandante or something and heaped praise on him. And then had to do the walk it back thing. Where she's like, oh, I didn't really know what that meant. Like, I don't know. I was around when Fidel Castro died. I didn't send any tweets out on his behalf. He's just another bad guy who's dead.
Yeah, just one more dead communist.
Right. I wish there were more dead
good
communists.
Kind. Yeah.
The best kind of communist. So we have an imbecile sociopath as a governor, and then like basically a communist as a mayor. So it's going to be Los Angeles. It's going to be going through some tough times.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're an Angelino. I'm an Angelino. I've been that my whole life, and my family's been here 120 years. Like this city and this state doesn't have to be this awful. I mean, everywhere I go, and people meet me, and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" California. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it's just we're a laughing stock of the country because of the way the leadership has just absolutely left the people behind, and it's all self-serving interest, and it's all, look at me, look what I'm doing. I'm standing up to Trump, or I'm doing some righteous, virtuous thing, and what's happening? Businesses are being destroyed. I mean, look, In-N-Out Burger just packed up and moved to Nashville. 99-cent stores are out of business. My family, Zacky Farms, we got crushed by the regulatory process here in California. We're out of business.
I didn't even know you were that Zacky.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were Zacky Farms Zacky.
Oh, yeah. I'm that guy.
Was Zacky... First off, they were doing the all-natural stuff a long time ago.
We pioneered antibiotic-free. We helped designate what actual fresh versus frozen poultry was, and we were the largest organic turkey producer in the nation.
I remember as a youth-ish seeing plenty of commercials for like Zacky Farms and all-natural and not processed and all that kind of stuff. That's your grandma?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
She's 90.
Still around?
Yeah.
Find me a Zacky Farms commercial from... Would you guys play those nationally or just in California?
That's a good question. I think it was mostly just in California, but it was a lot of radio stuff. And people often would see the Foster's Imposters TV commercials and think it was ours. And so the Foster's family was always upset about that.
Yeah, so Zacky, how big was Zacky Farms at their biggest?
We were over $500 million in valuation in 2000 with 4,000 employees, which made us the largest privately owned employer in the state of California and the largest poultry producer on the West Coast. We were processing 1.2 million birds a week.
Wow. Still never understand. You guys do 1.2 million birds a week.
Mm-hmm. We had a fleet of 70 trucks.
Yeah.
I mean, all these things, but we just slowly got the life choked out of us by the regulations and the taxes here in California.
And so where'd you guys end up?
Out of business.
Sorry for laughing.
No, I mean, it's what it is.
It's such a weird thing that you can't say to these people, you do understand this isn't working. Like whatever
I've tried. I used to lobby with the California Poultry Federation. I was a board member for 10 years. I'd go to DC and Sacramento and sit in their offices, USDA, FDA, EPA, senators, congressmen, you name it. And you'd try to explain to them how this is going to have an impact on businesses and families. And they're like, well, we already made a deal with the other side, so we're going to vote with them on this one because when we need them, they're going to vote with us on these other things. And that's just how it works. And it's like, but what about the people that helped get you elected and that you represent?
Yeah. Well, what about people leaving and businesses leaving? I mean, California, I'll screw this up a little bit, but California basically had 13 auto manufacturing companies here.
The plant, 16 movie theaters in Van Nuys. Like
Right. Van Nuys had a huge GM plant. And, I'm old enough to remember going to Nissan, going to Toyota. They're like Orange County-ish, whatever. It's all gone. It's all gone. And then, famously, Tesla's sort of the last. But does anyone ever just stop and go, whatever this is, whatever this direction is, I guess, unless the goal is to get everyone to leave, maybe we should think about changing direction.
Well, you'd think that, but they operate under feelings, not facts.
Right. That's all feelings. I have a theory that's wildly unpopular, but it's too many women in these positions, and they're feelings-based, and they're a little less with the facts and a little more with the feelings, and that's going to cause more of this. Now, there are women who think like men, and they're fine. And then there are dudes that think like chicks. That's Gavin Newsom. But every time I hear, like in L.A. especially, but people think I'm a chauvinist pig, but when I hear like City Councilwoman Maria Conchita Consuelo Alonso once, and I'm always like, oh, fuck. 15 Hispanic surnames on this bitch. We don't agree on anything. Like everything that they do is some sort of feeling based, and it satiates, and it like Nithya Raman is a retarded person, and she's making decisions about taking down U-turn signs in gay neighborhoods and stuff, which would not satisfy. It wouldn't satisfy me at all.
It's clutching at straws. It's all.
Right,
it's all.
right.
It's all trying to like just look. I'm doing something important somehow. It's because they're not even capable of doing the job that they've applied for and they were elected to. I mean, people just vote. A lot of people vote on identity politics, and we've seen that here in this country. And that's a problem because people are lazy, unfortunately. They don't do their research.
Well, also, can we dispel the myth that if you're struggling and you're black, that this would be fixed by a black vice president or a black fill in the blank? Because historically, they don't do shit for you, and they're not going to. Like, you can live in Chicago and go, wow, if only we had a black mayor because I'm black and I'm struggling. It never works.
Well, yeah, it's look, as an American, you have the opportunities. We've figured out that we're all equal. We're all the same. Obviously, you can have different starting points, but you know what? Those starting points are dependent on the hard work that went into your family prior to you showing up on the scene.
Well, yeah, but also, I'm white. I'm over 6 foot. I'm about the same age as Gavin Newsom. We both have the matinee idol good looks. And I don't think that fucking sociopathic retard's going to do shit for me. I think he's going to do the opposite of everything I want. So, but the pressure's off me. I don't go, oh, white guy. Oh, good. Oh, man. My lot's going to change in life. Well, and don't think that way if you're black or Hispanic or woman or gay.
But that's a victim mentality.
I know, but at a certain point, it's their fault. Well, hey, wake up. They're not going to do anything for you.
Yeah, it's like somebody who's an addict. Like, it's your fault that you're an addict. I mean, obviously, there's extenuating circumstances.
Tony Villar changed his name to Antonio Villaraigosa so he could fool dumb Mexicans into voting for him. And then he didn't do shit for you people. So would you fucking wake up and get over it? Because it's you who are the racists, who think I need to get a black guy or a Hispanic guy or somebody who looks like me in some sort of position of power so they can do something for me specifically. That is a racist thought. So you who vote that way are racist.
No, Morgan Freeman's the one who said if you want to end racism, just stop talking about it.
Yeah, and then the guys from 60 Minutes are like, oh, but come on.
Yeah.
Find me. Sorry. You got to find Nithya Raman with their Toyota. I have to visit this at least once a year with their catalytic converter. Have you ever seen Nithya Raman discuss City Councilwoman Nithya Raman telling us what the problem is with catalytic converter thefts are?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
Oh, God.
It's like a little window, a little peek behind the retard curtain, like where you could go, oh, there's a retarded midget trapped in her head. Oh, this is the way she thinks. Oh, and by the way, she's not in charge of catalytic converters. She thinks this way on everything. This is a woman who went to Harvard who cannot string a sentence together and doesn't really have a thought. If you think about it, this is her explanation / solution for people getting killed stealing catalytic converters. Here we go.
Oh, here
we have a company, the Prius, Toyota, who makes the Prius, that essentially has a device on their cars, which is super easy to remove. It's basically the value of a MacBook, right? That is put in a place that is incredibly easy to access in your car. And then the thefts related to this issue have essentially...
Hold on. I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to take her dog, and I'd put it on a rope, and I'd put it over an alligator pit. And I would go, this rope is thick enough that if I light it on fire, it's going to take 3 hours to burn through before your dog lands in that alligator pit. Now, I also have a Toyota Prius, and I have a Snap-on truck filled with tools. Hey, bitch, if you can get this catalytic converter that's super easy to remove off of this thing and present it to me, I will take a fire extinguisher and put that 3-hour burn rope out. But I don't think you can do it. But knock yourself out.
I don't think she knows what it looks like.
Super easy to take. She wouldn't even know. She wouldn't know where to look.
Right.
All right.
No, she doesn't know anything.
She's a retarded person, but keep going with her, which is great.
All of the costs of that are given to us to bear instead of them having to manufacture a car that actually is not so easy to be stolen.
All right. Then them to manufacture a car that's not so easy to be stolen. Which doesn't even, first off, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. They're not stealing the car. They're stealing the catalytic converter.
Because it's got palladium and platinum in it.
Right. And secondly, anything that involves a cutting torch or a sawzall is not incredibly easy to steal.
No, you just show up equipped.
Yeah, you got to show up equipped, and it's going to take you a minute, but you got to get under the car. You have to jack the car up to do it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's usually like 2 or 3 guys that do that.
Yeah.
Because my buddy, he was living in Lakewood, and that happened to him.
Yeah. It's got to be the worst because you know it immediately because when you start the car.
It just doesn't sound right.
No, it does not.
There's a little bit of the exhaust missing.
Anytime you take a 2-foot section out of the middle of the exhaust, it's going to change the note marginally, but enough for you to hear it from inside the car. Yeah. So anyway, it's Toyota's fault. So problem solved.
But these are the people that are in charge, right?
Well, that's the scary part.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look, but who's putting those people in? Aside from the whole, you got to be, look like they look like me or they sound like my name. I'll vote for them. Who's putting them in front of the people that actually get to see them to vote? And it's the media.
Right.
And the media isn't doing a good job of actually fairly representing who's out there as a candidate. And and even I'm facing that. And they're supposed to give equal opportunity to all the candidates out there, unless they're an expert in a specific field. But if that's not the case, but they only want to push those candidates that because there's a whole thing of gatekeepers out there, and like, buddy, who's who knows who, and they're gonna support these people, and it's not fair to the actual candidates that want to do right by the people, and they're just playing this game of who's got the money that can line the pockets to get them on the show or whatever.
What's going to happen in California with something like the bullet train, which obviously isn't a bullet train from Fresno to Merced?
Wait,
nobody. Okay. Obviously, it sounded insane to every sane person from the.
It's like the monorail salesman came to town.
Right. It's a Simpsons episode.
Exactly.
So now we're billions of dollars in, and we're billions of dollars over, and Trump is looking at this going, this is the biggest boondoggle waste of time, waste of money I've ever seen.
It's money laundering. I mean, they couldn't account for $300 million for that project a few years ago. Well, we don't know where it went.
And then is California that corrupt? Because
yes.
Yes. Okay. So the thing about it, tell me what you think of this, and maybe it's on my theme of Rosie and Ellen and dancing and coming across a certain way. The whole time I grew up in California, and I grew up with like progressive Democrat parents, losers. Okay. And my whole family. All right. So when they would talk about corruption, it was the white guy with the pinky ring.
Oh.
And he has a white guy He had a diamond pinky ring.
The fat guy in the suit.
Yeah.
The mob boss look, cigar.
Right, cigar, the whole thing. He was slapping a secretary on the ass, and he was in Louisiana, and he was going, you know how the game is played, don't you? And then he set the suitcase down. Right, so we had an archetype, like literally a cartoon character of who that person was, right? And then you'd go California. And you go, well, not California. It's like mostly women running things, and that's not a fat guy with a pinky ring. That's a woman. They don't do that stuff.
Oh,
They're
like
honest.
Lassa, the woman who's the head of Lassa that was giving her husband millions of dollars who he was the head of a charity.
Right, but that's my whole thing. Like, my whole thing is, how do billionaires dress in California? It's like, flip-flops and cargo shorts because they don't want to look like billionaires. You know what I mean? They want to blend in.
I don't think it's that. They don't care.
Right, but what I'm saying is you never think.
Well,
I never thought of California.
The sloppiest guy dressed in LA usually has the most money.
I never thought that California was corrupt because Nithya Raman, look at her. She's a woman and she's of whatever Middle Eastern extract. That's not what corruption looks like. It's a guy in a cowboy hat drinking a gin fizz and laughing. You know what I mean? But I realize we dress, so we look and we talk about peace and love and good vibes and the environment, whatever. It's like Al Gore, he loves the environment, man. That guy, he's a cajillionaire.
Yeah.
So what's going on with all the money? Where did the homeless money go? Where did the fire aid money go? Where did the train money go? Like what's going on?
Oh, it's all circulating through different accounts and ways that they're hiding money. It's all ways that they can cook books.
So so we got a train. How much did the train?
Oh, it's like over 20 billion.
And where's the money?
Right.
And then how are we going to finish the train?
Well, I mean, here's an interesting fact. Eleni Koulianakis, she's lieutenant governor. She's also running for governor. Her father is one of the largest construction companies in California. He also gets a lot of the contracts, and they happen to be the largest donator to the Democrat Party in California. What a coincidence.
Yeah, but she's a lady. She can't do that. That's a dude from Louisiana who wears a cowboy hat. Yeah, so is this train ever going to get finished?
No, and I'm going to make sure it's done and dead from day one. I'm not allowing this waste anymore. We don't need a train. It's a luxury item. Sounds nice, but if it's not going to be as fast or faster than the ones they got in China and built in the way that they build them in China, which is now quick, there's no point. And we don't have the money to do that. There's so many other issues that we need to take care of first that we have to make California self-sufficient. I mean, we have everything but leadership.
Right.
It's simply that we have the resources and we're not taking advantage of them. They're bitching about this drought. It's a drought again. Last I checked, you could have gone to Mammoth and snowboarded this July, and last year you could have done it into August.
Right.
So it's not a drought. It's managing the resources. They're not building the infrastructure. Population's doubled in the last 50 years, but they haven't built any water storage in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
So how and then you dump the water.
Is it?
But you can turn it into a net positive.
No, listen, we can do a lot. Yes. First off, nobody needs that train from those two places.
Yeah, that market isn't. It's
Doesn't
not there.
Exist. I know. So why would it even start? I guess
money laundering.
Okay, so it's just graft and grift.
You know it.
I'm assuming it is. I just can't. It's weird. Again, it's more California stuff where I just think, come on, man, this is California. That's not what we do.
Hey, just smoking to the joint. Forget about it.
Right. That's what it is. But here's a bigger sort of psychological question. I keep talking about like process people. They just want to talk about stuff, but they never do anything. There's no boots on the ground. And so Trump is a builder and a commercial builder, and people that have that background are in a hurry and they want to get stuff done all the time. And then process people want to talk about the process. And they want to speak in these sort of vaguitudes about having a seat at the table and everyone has to be treated with dignity.
No child left behind.
No child ever gets left behind, and the homeless community needs to be treated with dignity. Nothing ever changes, everything gets worse, and nothing ever happens. And I realize, because I come from these people, that if you want to be, garlic or a cross to their Dracula, you start talking about doing stuff. Like you go, hey, Monday, let's go. What are we building?
Yeah,
what are we doing? And they go,
that's-
whoa, slow down. We got to have a discussion group about this.
Yeah, but look at your background. You were so fed up with that from an early age that maybe subconsciously that's why you like to get into construction, to be the builder that you grew up being.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, because you know process. You want to build a building, you got to lay plumbing. First, you got to level the area. Then you got to lay the plumbing. Then you got to do the foundation for anything else, and then all the other steps that go into it. And you know the process, but you also execute.
Yes, I don't think that Karen Bass wants anything to do with that, and I don't think Newsom wants anything to do with that. And a lot
of people don't want to work. A lot of people just want to get paid.
I have a new theory, which is something I've been thinking about a lot, which is the people who get paid for doing nothing essentially protest and fight harder for their jobs than people who get paid to do something.
Well, it's like a child throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, but what I'm kind of saying is like I've worked with a million dudes who are blue collar dudes. And with blue collar dudes, when the work ends, like we built the house, they go, all right, I'll go find another job framing. And they just leave. Like they physically just leave. When you get a job as a whatever with the school board and you're somewhere in the teachers union and you're somewhere in the bowels of the bureaucracy of the whatever, and you essentially almost do nothing all day, those are the people that most vocal, march, fight, and complain the hardest for their non-bullshit, zero-impact jobs. The people that like fix cars, frame houses, roof houses, their job ends. They just go, all right, I'll get another job. And they go roof somewhere else or frame somewhere else or fix someone else's car. You ever hear them like bitching about it or fighting about it or moaning about it? I started realizing, like when Doge came in, they're like, hey, lots of super lazy, do-nothing government folks that are basically on the dole. You're going to have to find a new gig. And they went nuts.
Yeah.
Blue-collar guys don't go nuts. They just go to the next job.
They're the same people that are like, oh, these jobs are beneath white people. They're beneath Americans.
Right.
Which is bullshit. Like, I worked alongside tons of people because I had to learn the business from the ground up. It wasn't just like, oh, yeah, here's the keys to the kingdom. Like, my grandparents made me start at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I worked in a slaughterhouse, worked on ranches, a hatchery, did sanitation. It wasn't, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It was full on months in these jobs. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. And when you get done at the end of the day, yeah, you're tired, but you got shit accomplished and it feels good. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you go on to the next task. You just keep moving forward. But I also believed in what I was doing too.
Yeah.
They're just selling bullshit all day to keep their job. They're just lie. And I don't know how they keep it all together. I mean, they do a bad job because we keep catching them on stuff all the time.
It's just got to be a weird thing to create nothing and to have zero skills and to just kind of go through life peddling platitudes and bullshit.
It's the used car salesman. Look at Gavin Newsom. He's like the epitome of that meme. You've seen that meme, right? Where it's like the used car salesman, he's got the car there and he slaps his hand on the roof of the car. He's like, this baby right here, you can fit so many like whatever's into it.
Yeah.
You know that meme?
Yeah.
He's that guy.
I know. He's been in here and there's something wrong with him. But there's definitely something wrong with us because we vote for these guys.
Well,
and
a lot
we may be at the end of that.
Well,
I don't know.
I think we got 23,000 acres of people that are ready to not vote that way anymore.
Are those acres that burn to the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just people need to take the time, and the problem is everybody just wants instant gratification, and they can easily just use their phone and find out about who's out there and what they stand for, but they have to actually put down whatever they're consuming, whether it's some new TV show that everybody's just like got to talk about or not. Just learn about the candidates. I'm one of them. And the media has to also step up and do the fair equal time in showing who's out there. But media's corrupt too.
Listen, the days of the LA Times endorsement meaning jack squat.
Well, no, it's not about it. I'm not talking endorsements.
No, I know you're not, but I'm just saying the media is kind of dead now. So it's a new world order, which is good.
Yes, but it's the boomers are still the majority predominant voters. The Gen Zs, the millennials, my generation, millennials, well, obviously we don't trust mainstream media. That's why there's alternative media sources that are growing like crazy. But that's because, but they also don't feel that they have a shot at change, and they've been so disenfranchised and browbeaten that they're like, I'm just one vote, it doesn't matter. And I can't stress enough that no, your one vote does matter, your voice does matter. And then people fire back, well, we have all these hyperinflated voter rolls and the electronic voting machines, and it's rigged and it doesn't matter. I can't stand that, because you have to actually stand up and voice your opinion, even if it feels like it's futile. You just got to still do it.
Let me ask you like a real practical question from a building standpoint. When you are voted in, or Trump has his way, or whatever it is, he stopped funding the train. The train has bridges built and concrete laid and
not that much
infrastructure. Is it just we're just done? Like we just pull a plug and go, look, whatever that bridge is, it's there.
Leave it. Let it be a memorial to everybody, a reminder that this is what corruption in government looks like, and don't make this mistake again. Just make it that. I mean, it's going to cost money to tear it down.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, so don't tear it down.
Just leave it. Leave it and let it be a reminder to everybody when they drive by, what is that? That was the biggest money laundering scheme that ever happened to the state. That is what corruption in government looks like.
Yeah, and by the way, we can't fix a reservoir, but we can build a train to nowhere.
Well, according to the state, we can fix plenty of reservoirs. We can build new reservoirs. We got a whole untapped labor force out here. We have 250,000 homeless here in California that need help. They need drug rehabilitation. They need mental health help. And they also need a job skill, and they need purpose and direction. And you can give them all those things through the Homeless to Home program that I've developed. So,
well, Gavin Newsom said the real picture of homelessness was a mother of two who had a full-time job, who got paid minimum wage, who just got divorced and was out of the house. That's, he told me. I told him it was drug addicts and crazy people, but he said, no.
I don't think he drives his own car.
It was a woman with a full-time job.
I mean, look, that does happen, but listen, very rarely.
I don't want to. there are more white cornerbacks in the NFL than there's instances of that.
I'm sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Just I don't know. I don't even like to do the "that does happen" part, because I don't even want to. I understand what you're doing. I don't even want to dignify it. It's like, you're fucking idiot. I'm not even going to go there. It's crazy people and drug. Look, it's all drug.
I gotta walk this tightrope, right?
Yeah, but it's drug addicts.
No, of course it's drug addicts. What are you talking about?
It's all drug addicts.
I mean, when was the last time you saw a normal person like just
spazzing out?
Yeah, as they're yelling at themselves and things. And
I'm trying to think of any homeless person, anybody I've ever known who's been homeless who's not been involved with drugs. It doesn't exist, because listen, if somebody said to me, like, who worked here or something, anybody, a friend, a family, whatever, just went, man, things are really bottomed out at work and income and whatever, I just go sleep on that sofa in the back then. Just go crash on the sofa. You won't be homeless. Now, you steal everything in here when I come back tomorrow morning, then you will be homeless, and that's what you do if you're a drug addict. So that's
no, they'll have a home, and it'll just have bars on the windows and doors.
Well, I don't know that we do that in California either.
True.
But
that's a good point.
Either way, whatever their plan is, I don't know what the plan is, but it doesn't seem to be working.
No, their plan is to fleece money. I mean, look, the state pats themselves on the back and says, oh, look, we put a roof over their head. We've done our job.
Right.
Look, and then they're the ones that produce the stats, and they're the ones that put out the stats, and they say, look, our stats that we curtailed and we created are showing that we're doing a good job. Vote us in again. We'll keep making it better. And then we're all out here driving and stuck in traffic, and we're going through downtown LA or wherever, and you just see homeless encampments under the bridges, under the overpasses, and you're like, oh yeah, this looks way worse.
Yeah. All right, Leo, let me give you a plug. Insta and TikTok at Leo S. Zacky, Zacky is where you go, leozacky.com. You can also go there as well. Leo, come back from time to time.
Please.
I'll support anybody who's not.
No.
getting this.
You got to support me, and I'll
I
show
gotta
you
support
why.
you. All right. You show me why.
I will.
All right.
With solutions.
You can go to AdamCarolla.com. I'm going to be in Provo, Utah. I'm going to be in Torrance. I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to be in El Paso. So you can go to AdamCarolla.com for all that. And you can check out Adam Yenser as well. He's doing shows everywhere. Check his Instagram out at Adam Yenser as well. Until next time, this is Adam for Adam and Leo and Elisha saying mahalo.